I'm Chimwemwe Mangazi with Business Time on Times. It is a magazine program where we bring you business and economic news stories making headlines. In the program today, government plans financial inclusion and entrepreneurship scaling successor project. Also in the program, Deposit Insurance Corporation said to caution depositors from commercial bank failures. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Jacob Mazalale, has indicated that the government is contemplating crafting another financial inclusion and entrepreneurship scaling FInES project to continue aiding small and medium-scale entrepreneurs with cheap and patient capital. This follows a nationwide tour of some of the beneficiaries of the project who indicate that there is need for the program to continue offering such kind of financing. More in this report.
Mazalale says the government understands that one of the shortest ways in which the country will grow is to further improve the engagement of the private sector.
It is very impressive that the efforts that are being made to give resources to the public, to the private sector, are making a difference. We have seen that the money that was given to this company managed to give capacity to the company to buy bigger, better machines, and the manager has given testimony that they managed to grow in terms of turnover of works, in terms of the number of people employed. So it is very encouraging to see the efforts that such a project as FInES is making on the lives, one of the business, but also on the wider community as Malawians. Because if he employs people, it means the welfare of even a wider community is improving. The current government really thinks that one of the surest way in which we are going to grow is to further to improve in the engagement of the private sector. So definitely yes, there are ideas on how we can engage and support more of the private sector, and I want to emphasize that really government is excited to encourage indigenous business community to participate in economic activity, and one of the surest way of making that is to make capital available to the private sector. You might have heard the government is talking of a development bank, of which conversations are taking place, and we hope that more and more of such similar facility as the FInES project will be made available.
FInES project manager Raf Tseka said there is a huge need for a successor project as most entrepreneurs are actually crying for more funds, for more investment.
Oh, there's a huge need for a successor project. I think you have gone with us into many of these institutions or these entrepreneurs. All these entrepreneurs are actually crying for is for more funds, for more investment. You can actually see that firstly, these funds were actually provided to boost the companies, the entrepreneurs, small-scale businesses from the effects of COVID. And after the effects of COVID, what is actually transpired now is that they are now on a level that they are actually producing more. They are at a level now they want really to fly. And it is at this level that they need more capital. Since this was a loan and it was already signed, so the agreements that were signed at the beginning, both with the banks as well as from the banks with the entrepreneurs, they are still holding until this loan comes to an end. And the project is coming to an end next year, 2025, in September.
One of the beneficiaries of the project, who is also managing director of Hartfield Investment, Harrison Longwe, says the project has been essential in the context that it helps to sustain businesses and improve their capacity.
This project is essential in the context that it helps to sustain businesses like ours. It helps to improve our capacity. Most businesses in Malawi, we are largely incapacitated in terms of working capital. So having a successor project like the FINES one, it helps us to enhance our working capital because we can only get this working capital through the banks. And most importantly, this FINES project, the interest rates are very low. When you go to the normal banks, the loans are very exorbitant. So not many businesses would be able to afford such kind of loans. But with this affordability in terms of the interest rates, it helps to cushion our cash flows. So these are very important projects that can help many businesses in Malawi to flourish and even to sustain the businesses.
The FINES project is expected to come to an end next year.
The Deposit Insurance Corporation DIC has embarked on an initiative to raise awareness about its mandate and operations in the country. Established under the DIC Act of 2022, the parastatal provides guarantee that all or part of customers' deposits shall be paid following any commercial bank's failure. I caught up with DIC Director General Chitani Chigumula.
The DIC, which is Deposit Insurance Corporation, is a statutory corporation, so to say, established by an act of parliament, actually the Deposit Insurance Corporation Act, which the National Assembly has passed, and the laws are sent to by the state president in May 2022. In terms of establishment, the DIC board was appointed on 1st October 2023. So that's when the Deposit Insurance Corporation was established. The act which I cited actually stipulates, mandates, provide for the establishment of the Deposit Insurance Corporation and prescribes its powers, functions, and operations.
For what purpose was DIC established?
The Deposit Insurance Corporation was established to promote, to participate. Promote, I'm saying promote because I have to use my words carefully, because already there is a bank which has the mandate of financial stability. So the DIC was established to complement the work of the Reserve Bank, the Register of Financial Institutions, in that space. So it's a player in what we call the safety net space. So the DIC, what it does is it's mandated to cover institutions as per the Act. These institutions are called insured institutions once they are covered. So the board of the DIC, as guided by the Act, came up with regulations to cover the banks. That's the first stage. As we are talking, all the banks are covered. What it means is they pay premiums. Just as you know, insurance in its technical terming, to say that insurance, you can insure your car. What you do is you pay insurance premium to an insurance company. So this is a bit different. The banks, they have paid premiums since October 2023 from the day the DIC was established. So as we are talking, all the banks, the 8 banks are covered. They paid premiums to the deposit insurance. So these premiums, we will invest them in the event that an insured institution, in this case the banks, if there is a bank failure, then the depositors, they'll be covered. So there is a prescribed limit as at now, which the regulations which I cited have stipulated to say that is at that now it's 1 million. It's an international best practice When I say international best practices, all over deposit insurance schemes. In some, they are called like credit protection, not only for banks. As I've indicated, the DIC has started with the banks, but the board, by under the Act, the DIC Act, and management of the DIC, the board who could guide management to go into a space, for instance, the deposit-taking microfinance institution. So it's not just banks, because the issue here is the protection of the deposit. So for Malawi, there's nothing which actually happened or anything that we are seeing on there to say that maybe a bank will fail or not, but it's according to best practice.
So you say the premium is 100 million?
No. The premium is not 100. The premiums vary. They vary on the deposits which each bank has. So there's a calculation. And
it's a percentage.
It's a percentage of the total deposit liabilities of which a bank is holding at a particular point in time. The 1 million.
What is the percent?
The 1 million which I cited, that 1 million is the limit, the cover limit, so to say. Yeah, that's where we have started, because you agree with me that October 2023 is just about 11 months ago. And what we are doing is we are building the fund. We are building the fund from the premiums that the banks have paid so far. We invest those, and according to how we invest them, there is the section 20 of the DIC Act, which guides on how those deposits, those premiums are insured. They are insured in government securities, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Today you are engaging members from the banking sector.
Yes.
Why is this?
Thank you. As I've said, the banks, these are our members. I would say our members now, they're the banks, because we have studied with the banks. So we are meeting the frontline. We are meeting the frontline staff of banks. These are mostly the tellers, because we are engaging them in an awareness activity, so that they know their expectation, what they are supposed to do in compliance with the Deposit Insurance Corporation Act. There will be expectations, for instance, that each bank will display in its banking halls and advertising, having be it websites, be it the digital platforms, that their deposits are protected by the Deposit Insurance Corporation. So we are engaging them to enhance awareness. At the end of the day, we are expecting to harvest a compliance through the frontline staff.
Expectations are high that efforts to enhance internet penetration and digitalization will be advanced in the country, following revelations that the World Bank has committed $70 billion towards the second phase of the Digital Malawi project. This came out during a press briefing in Blantyre. Bodwin Chiamwaka is Secretary in the Ministry of Information and Digitalization.
We can't be left behind as a country in terms of digitalization. And like I said earlier, it is at the heart of our President, His Excellency, Dr. Lazarus Makathi Chakwera, and the government of Malawi to ensure that Malawi 2063, enabler number 6, where we are talking about infrastructure, ICT, this, we accelerate its achievement and its attainment. So it's very exciting that we have partners who are helping us, to attain this. And just to talk about the successor program, the Malawi Digital Acceleration Program, it's the next program that's coming as the first one, the National Digital Program is phasing out. We also used to call it the Digital Foundation Project. So this one is phasing out in October. It was supposed to phase out in June, but July, September, and October, this is what we call a no-cost extension because there were a few other things that were not completed. For example, the National Data Center in Lilongwe. And the next one that is coming, it means it will focus on connectivity to ensure that the fiber network is completed thoroughly, and we have infrastructure through fiber network all over the country. We have a few miles, maybe kilometers remaining, but to also ensure that we have towers all around and that we have free Wi-Fi in more public institutions, especially schools and other public places. So it's exciting. It's digital for every Malawian. Yeah, maybe let me start with it programmatically. Programmatically, I think we've been successful. The fact that the World Bank has approved the successor program, it's already an indication that we have done very well. And then secondly, we've talked about 500 schools being connected. We also, I forgot one thing in terms of literacy, digital literacy, where we have had 19 tech hubs where the youth, women, have been learning skills, but also these tech hubs have also been funding other smaller tech hubs, giving them what we call a seed funding to ensure that they stand on their own, they can operate on their own. So many things have happened, not only in terms of digital literacy, but also connectivity, infrastructure. We talk about a number of institutions in Malawi, a number of public places like markets, hospitals, where we have. There is a very interesting story somebody was telling me that I think it should be in Sanje District Hospital, where even people who are not sick, if not in Sanje, it should be Tiolo, even non-patients go there just, to browse. The other time I was at the Blantyre National Library, I found, young people, schoolgoers, doing their work there, accessing the internet to solve their problems, to do maths, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty exciting. We have got 2 portals, big portals. Number one, we have got the what we call the electronic service bus, which is connecting all government systems to speak to each other. For example, if you have data with the National Registration Bureau, you don't need to also register, for example, at the Road Malawi Traffic or Immigration or maybe with the Registrar General. Because if these systems are speaking to each other, they can also extract the data from these other systems. So it makes it less, not even laborious now for Malawians, that you go here, you register, you fill long forms, you go here, you also fill long forms, you provide the same information, but you provide it once and you go somewhere, they just, key in your national registration number or ID number, then you have information. It is extracted from the source. So this is amazing, but also we talked about Bomalatu, where all government, services will be in one place, which means you can just go on the portal and register your business or apply for, your passport. It will decongest, immigration offices. You can also, do a lot of things. You can imagine even traffic, your licenses, renewal of driving licenses, and so on and so forth. So it's amazing. It's a game changer. It's something that's wonderful, and that's why we are very happy for the next phase of this program.
And Chimwemwe Mangazi is Digital Malawi Project Manager.
So for the new project, it has been contracted by government on noticing that the Digital Malawi Foundations, the old project or the previous project, has been very, very, very successful. For this reason, government and the World Bank have agreed to enter into a new project, which is going to be for the amount of $70 million for the first 2 years, with the understanding that another $80 million will be triggered in year 3 for implementation. In terms of size, we can say that the amount, the allocation, 150 million, is almost double the current allocation for the existing project, which is $72.4 million. So the second project is actually following on the footsteps of the first one, to mean that the first project has actually attained quite a number of very great achievements. So it is just more or less continuation of the current implementation arrangements, implementation objectives. For example, I can give an example of the very successful Lunta Ndichuma initiative that has been deployed by government for the purposes of benefiting our youth in the modern environment where the internet can be used as a source of income. So this Lunta Ndichuma initiative, which currently benefits 19,000 plus beneficiaries, youth and women mostly, is going to continue in terms of benefiting even more beneficiaries and using the resources and the approaches that have previously been used. Another aspect is there are some systems that have been deployed, that have been developed, but these need hand-holding. Let me give you an example. For example, a data center is currently being deployed, being constructed in Lilongwe under the current project. But obviously, for a data center to be operational, there are a number of support activities that will need to be provided for, including support staff, including operational requirements, including systems, including issues to do with the licenses to operate the various tools that have been deployed by the contractor, and so on and so forth. So, and of course also onboarding users, which are MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies. So more support might be required for those follow-up activities, if I may. So in brief, yes, we are continuing with the previous activities. We're just making sure that those activities which have been successful and transformative continue in their current form and shape. And for those activities that, yes, have been delivered but they need support, they are also obtaining that specific support. So I've just mentioned the data center. There is connectivity. There is also a portal where Malawians, the general public, are going to be able to interface with government and get various reports and supply various information on the various systems that government applies. For example, licenses, business registration, as the Secretary for Information has indicated. So for that one as well, it is more support, existing support, so that we get it to the next level in terms of usage, in terms of MDA, onboarding usage, MDAs, as well as in terms of quality of experience and usage of modern technologies.
Well, with that item, we've come to the end of today's edition of Business Time. It is a Matters program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Chimwemwe Mangazi. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Bye for now.